Yeah,
And,
explain to me the debt ceiling, Sam.
from the conservative point of view, as Mitch McCarthy would say, the the Democrat Party is Bernie Sanders and AOC party now.
My
They
God.
can't come to. I'm quoting here.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm quoting here. They're not even standing for democratic values. It's he said it's a party of Biden of what's it? Oh my goodness! I just said
Bernie.
AOC and Bernie Sanders, the party of their parties, and that's why. And from McCarthy's side, and he's more he doesn't want to raise taxes, and he wants to decrease spending. Those are his non-negotiables.
Yeah.
In terms of that, but
Man. Okay, go ahead, John.
he's
You go
willing
first.
to meet, but that's his, those sort of two is non-negotiables.
Okay, but this is bullshit though, because every time we hit the debt ceiling and Republicans aren't in power, they're like, "Oh, we have to become more responsible at spending money," which I 100% agree with, right? But if you look at both the H.W. Bush and the Trump administration, both of them ran deficits, which means you spent more than you brought in. So you can't sit there and put money on the credit card, and then as soon as someone else is now in charge of finances, be like, "Yo, you can't spend any more money, dude, because this shit ain't right. We shouldn't be doing it." Like, it's hypocritical. It's a power play. You got, like, the Democrats are in power. If those Social Security checks don't go out and those old people don't get their money, they're going to blame the president, right? So I think that this is a classic example of politicians putting like their livelihood, their ability to have a job next cycle over the American people, regardless of whether it's Democrats or Republicans. I think that you need, like, we should have already passed the debt ceiling. We technically ran out of money in January, right? We'll still be able to cash checks until like June, like next week, right? We have raised the debt ceiling 68 times since 1970, right? There hasn't been a time it hasn't raised, right? There's been times in our life where it got paused. Remember, they closed all the parks. We were closed for about 50 days, I think it was, where they closed all the national parks. They started doing shit like that. The stock market tanked. Like, there's no good out of not raising the debt ceiling. If you really want to change the spending, you raise the debt ceiling, take all the qualms off of the stock market, any issues going wrong, and then you turn around and you start working on getting a balanced budget. Like, you don't hold the American people hostage while you figure this shit out. If my portfolio goes to shit after the last year that happens, I'm not voting a single person who's in office, Republican or Democrat. You're not getting my vote. I'm voting in completely new blood, bro. I lost thousands of dollars last year. COVID
Justice, Democrats, progressives.
Yeah, bro. Justice, everyone, bro. I'm tired of all these politicians. I want to see 30 to 50-year-old people with great brains go out there and make some decisions. Get these scumbags out of office.
Yeah, hey, and let me get on John's fire, bro.
John,
hold on, no. When the Republicans get into power, John,
some of the points that he made.
Yeah, okay, you keep it in your head, bro. You keep it in your head. Like, if Sam gets his way and fucking a Republican like Nikki Haley or fucking Donald Trump gets into power, just like they've done it just like they've done in every single Republican presidency, they're gonna run the deficit to shit. They're not gonna give a fuck about no ceiling. Whenever they're in office, bring that fucking deficit, go up, and then when it switches back to Democrat goes over. You have to raise the debt ceiling. And now what they're doing is they're saying they won't vote for raising the debt ceiling unless fucking Joe Biden gives concessions to the Republicans, meaning less social spending, less welfare, but we're not touching the military budget, the Pentagon, the trillions in the Pentagon, we're not going to touch. And not only are we not going to touch it, they can't even account for it. The accounting in the Pentagon is so fucked up, they don't even know where half of that money is, by the way. And but the problem with the Democrats, since John just went on the Republicans, the problem with the Democrats is that fucking Joe Biden will probably cave. He will probably give those fucking concessions, even though he doesn't have to, because he's gonna raise the debt ceiling. If he doesn't raise the debt ceiling, the world economy will crash, and the Republicans won't even like it because all their fucking money is in corporations. Like, it's just a fucking game, bro. And that's what I'm saying about Joe Biden. He's a pretend Democrat. Economically, he's conservative. He wants to give the concessions. He pretends he doesn't want to. He will give it even though he has no reason to. And then he'll just raise the debt ceiling. Yeah, I ain't voting for shit, bro. Like, fuck Joe Biden. He's not going to win anyway if he's against Trump. But fuck the Republicans.
Okay. And just to say, McCarthy did say that he will raise debt ceiling. So it's not like nobody's not going to raise the debt ceiling. They understand that in terms of that. But spending has to be cut. And he also said Joe Biden spent the most money last year than ever before. And do you know why Joe Biden spent the most money last year?
Because of math, dude. If you think about inflation, right? Your salary every year is the highest it's ever been if you didn't fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Something changed last year that didn't change before. A big
Medicaid?
dollar spending for U.S. was...
There's no way he spent more money than Trump did when he was handing out checks, dog.
Biden did pass stimulus, but there was another foot bill that Biden chose to add, and we talked about it on this podcast.
It's Ukraine.
A couple times.
The CAA?
It's Ukraine. No, he was right. It's Ukraine. So we gave him a lot of money in terms of that. On top of the regular fiscal spending that we had in terms of the basics and then stimulus that he put into the market since he's been president. But last year was Ukraine. We spent a lot of money on that.
And if you notice, though, that the Republicans aren't saying we need to cut the Pentagon budget. We're not going to cut aid to Ukraine. They're not saying that, you know.
No, but they passed. It was under his administration they chose to pass it. Some of them were just
I understand
executive thing in terms of that. So it's not. Those are not just our defenses. You know what I'm saying?